certain priorities.
He literally tweeted to the members of Congress.
The oldest profession on earth.
You don't have to touch me.
Is not.
He literally tweeted to these members, "Thank you for doing this." I don't want you to touch me. That's my personal space.
I won't ever do it again.
Thank you. But he literally.
The oldest profession on earth is not prostitution. It's politicians raising money. That has happened from the beginning of time. That's going on forever and will continue forever. This issue around judges, this is pure politics. Get over it. This is,
Kevin, you know this. You know business leaders.
But you're right. It will come to fore in 18 months at the midterms. That's when the test will happen. He has a full majority mandate and the popular vote mandate for the next 18 months.
Let me introduce one more. Let me introduce one more thing on the judge.
That's unacceptable, what you just said. So, I mean, you don't bring up a judge's wife in a White House press conference.
So why is this happening? I mean, I'm old enough to remember.
Hello, everybody. Guys, let's get right into this panel. This is what we get when we don't have a fair tax system. Just check this out and look at how these MAGA pundits try to justify this. Check this out and we'll talk about it.
None of that matters to Musk and Trump, who have baselessly claimed that this is a judicial coup. And if you disagree, your job is on the line, according to one Republican senator at least.
It may be that Elon Musk has decided he's going to take the next $1 billion that he makes off of Starlink and put it directly against Lisa Murkowski. That's why you've got everybody just like zip-lip, not saying a word, because they're afraid they're going to be taken down, they're going to be primaried, they're going to be given names in the media. You know what? We cannot be cowed into not speaking up.
Joining us in our fifth seat, criminal defense and trial attorney Stacey Schneider. We'll get to you on the legal stuff in just a second, but Angela, what's your take on the fear factor? How much of this do you think is truly just the fear of the sheer amount of money that Elon can put behind any of these races if he just wants to?
Well, I want to point out first that this, again, goes to the heart of the issues with this administration. This is a violation of the law. 18 U.S.C. Section 201 of the United States Code talks about bribery or illegal gratuity. And when whether the intention exists or not, if you pay someone or you give someone something of value for an official act, that is illegal. You cannot do that. So he is violating the law. 3 of the members that he maxed out to, as we call it on the Hill, give the maximum contribution to, have already introduced impeachment articles for 3 judges that went afoul of the rules that Donald Trump is trying to get everyone to abide by. We are in the heart of a constitutional crisis. So of course people are afraid. If all he has to do is remove a judge because he has control of the House and the Senate, removes a judge, impeaches the judge and removes them, appoints someone else, all who are willing to do his handiwork, therein lies a constitutional
So just one thing here.
The bigger issue is that this is the richest man in the world using his wealth to control government and the Republicans. And he's literally sticking his hands in every piece of government. Social Security, DOE, firing nuclear stockpile staff. Social Security, like he's in everything. This is the problem. When you let someone accumulate this amount of wealth because you don't have a fair tax system, this is what happens. And this is why the protests against Tesla is very important. The less money that effer has, the less power and control he has over people and the government in general. This is incredible. And then you have Republicans who are just the weakest, no backbone, no principle. This is what fascism looks like. This is how easy you can descend right into fascism. If you don't agree, any dissent, any disagreement is unacceptable and you must be removed.
The 7 Republicans that he gave to Boebert, Crane, Clyde, Brandon Gill, who has introduced the articles of impeachment, Ogles, Orden, and Grassley. But Stacey, first of all, I'm curious what you think about what Angela just said, but also, I mean, the Chief Justice seemed to very clearly just be saying, this is not a thing. You are not going to impeach judges just because you don't like how they rule. What part of that doesn't Elon Musk and others understand?
First of all, I don't think we've ever seen a Supreme Court justice come out and make a statement about the behavior of the White House And Justice Roberts used the word inappropriate. Going after judges because you don't like their rulings is inappropriate. You have an appeals process to do that. Now, I'm not saying Elon Musk, I don't agree that Elon Musk is breaking the law by getting involved in this and donating to these candidates or donating to these House Republicans, because he's going to donate the maximum that he's allowed to. He's not going over that. And he's voicing his opinion and his First Amendment right about what's important to him. But why is this important to him? Why is he out of his lane on this one? He's already dismantling the government, and now he's going to use his wallet to dismantle the judiciary. Why is he involved in this? It's insulting. As an attorney, I mean, we all take oaths. Judges take oaths. Attorneys take oaths. We are supposed to be fair. We are not supposed to break the law. A judge making a decision about pushing back on President Trump's deportation policy, perfectly legal, appropriate. And the judge is not stopping Trump. He's saying, wait a minute, you're not following procedure. There's deportation procedures. You're making up the law. And what Trump just did was, when he deported the migrants who he claimed were from Venezuela and they were gang members, he was invoking a law that it's never really talked about from 1798, the Alien Enemy Law, which is invoked when we're at war. And as far as I know, we're not at war with Venezuela, where he should be able to use that law to carry out his immigration policies. So the judge is just putting a brake on that and saying, if the president wants to carry out a policy, follow the immigration law.
Let's hash it out. I mean, the honest truth is.
And some of these people are being deported wrongfully just for a tattoo and completely innocent. And they're being put into essentially modern day slavery. It's literal labor prisons. This is just absolutely insane.
That this is basic kind of like grade school civics stuff. It's honestly not that complicated if you are familiar with how our system of government works. But all of a sudden, just putting this stuff out there makes it a conversation when it's really not that much of a conversation.
But can I just tag team in really quick, Congressman Khanna? Because I think that there's something where we're missing each other, Tracy. There's the FEC, right, where if he would have extended the amount by law that he could contribute, that's one thing. We're talking about a quid pro quo exchange. And I just want to say, we have ethics guidelines for members. We have, I'm sure, friends who have been caught up in things like this, where a member of Congress does a favor for someone who just so happened to contribute to their campaign around the same time. But I mean, it is a violation of the law.
You're mixing two narratives.
It is a violation of the law.
You're saying fundraising.
One second. Isn't it also true, though, Angela, that this is lobbying, right? Like, if you're a company, you can.
No, there's a cooling off period.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, you can contribute to whoever you want, and the hope is that they're going to know that you want certain priorities.
He literally tweeted to the members of Congress.
The oldest profession on earth.
You don't have to touch me.
Is not.
He literally tweeted to these members, "Thank you for doing this." I don't want you to touch me. That's my personal space.
I won't ever do it again.
Thank you. But he literally says. He says thank you to the members who introduced articles of impeachment. That is an exchange of value. Okay. That is a violation of the law.
Let's talk about the two narratives.
All right, I had to cut in there. What is with this touching thing? Like, all right, unless you guys are good friends or have that kind of understanding, you shouldn't be putting your hands on someone. And when it comes to Mr. Wonderful Idiot there, let me get a crack at this. She especially probably doesn't want you to touch her when you're one of those billionaires that are doing your best to defend Trump and Elon Musk, when these people and that movement that you are a part of and that you're aiding is doing everything they can to erase the achievements and of people of color and women, which is exactly what she is. You support the party that believe that people of color are subhuman. She understands that. That's possibly a big reason she doesn't want you touching her either. So yeah, I wouldn't even want to breathe the same air as you. I did it nicely. That's what he said to her. I did it nicely. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
It's going on simultaneously.
The
oldest profession on earth is not prostitution. It's politicians raising money. That has happened from the beginning of time. That's going on forever and will continue forever. This issue around judges, this is pure politics. Get over it. This is what we live in today, every day. No laws have been broken. You don't like it? Too bad.
I do agree with that. I do agree. It's disgusting what's going on. I mean, to dismantle even Judge. Well, you know what Judge Roberts even said? It's 200 years of precedent here. We don't attack judges because we don't like what they think. And I want to say something. I don't agree with your opinion, and I partially agree with you. But Donald Trump, as a private citizen, when he was being tried on his 34-count indictment in New York City, he attacked Judge Merchan every single day, and he attacked the judge's daughter. And you know what? He was a private citizen, and he's allowed to do it. Was it acceptable? Not really, but he did it. What is the judge going to do but hold him in contempt?
Is there anything illegal?
But no, well, the judge could hold him in contempt.
Well, let's see him do it.
But he didn't. But the point that, wait, can I just finish with one point? The point is, he is a president of the United States. You want to change the government, you want to make new policy, go right ahead, that's your job. But your job is not to dismantle 200 years of the judiciary, of people who took an oath to carry out a job, remain neutral, and push back if someone's breaking the law.
Go ahead, Congressman.
The big problem, in my view, is not the Musk just donations to these members of Congress, which is 3,500 or 7,000. It's the fact that we have a system where people can contribute hundreds of millions of dollars on these super PACs. And frankly, it happens on both sides.
It's the $100 million that he's put to the side for.
We need to ban that?
We need to ban those super PACs.
It's never going to happen.
Or at least under Citizens United, regulate it so you can't give more to a super PAC than you can give to a candidate. And it's happening on both sides. But here's what's, I think, finally breaking through with the American public. They're not looking at every detail of every judge. But what they are seeing is Trump had a lot of momentum coming in. You know, I was sitting in that inauguration. I was really concerned. First week, he gets off executive orders. And why are his numbers going down? Why is it the first time that his numbers on the economy are down? It's because there's chaos. Here's what they're seeing. They're seeing a president who now, a vice president who's saying, I may not obey the Supreme Court. If the Supreme Court rules, we should say, you've ruled, how are you going to enforce it? They see a fight with judges when the rule of law is what has made us a great economy. They see capricious tariff policy. They see a person who, they wanted efficiency in government. They wanted the waste cut. They see someone who is cutting before he's thinking, no rational plan. And they're saying, this is chaos. And Kevin, you know this. You know business leaders.
Yeah, you're right. But if you're right, it will come to fore in 18 months at the midterms. That's when the test will happen. He has a full majority mandate and the popular vote mandate for the next 18 months.
Let me introduce one more thing on the judges. Okay.
See, when you're a billionaire like he is, he just has no connection to any of these things. Very low, essentially no empathy. It's what Elon Musk said about empathy. Empathy is a flaw of the human being. When he's out there asking for empathy for Tesla. Elon Musk, that's all he was going to do is just make things more efficient. Just looking for fraud, waste, and abuse. Your stupid little mantra chant. These guys are going to bring us to a recession. And there's a theory out there that they want a recession so that these rich billionaires and the super rich can just buy up all these assets for dirt cheap and make multiples on their money. Oh, you just want to get rid of the fraud, waste, and abuse. How's that going so far, Republican lemmings? I mean, what's the point of all this? This is essentially a loophole of checks and balances. There should be restrictions on how much wealth, how much money you can give, whether directly or indirectly. Just think about it. It's clear as day that the more money you have, the more of a voice or control you have as to which direction the country goes on whatever issue you want. And if you're the richest man in the world, like like Elon Musk, you can literally control the president like a sock puppet. And all the Republicans in Congress that are supposed to be there to check them. It's unbelievable.
Okay, here's Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, not just going after the judge, but also the judge's wife.
Judge Boasberg is a Democrat activist. He was appointed by Barack Obama. His wife has donated more than $10,000 to Democrats, and he has consistently shown his disdain for this president and his policies, and it's unacceptable.
You know, like that's unacceptable, what you just said. So, I mean, you don't bring up a judge's wife in a White House press conference.
So why is this happening? I mean, I'm old enough to remember Ginny Thomas.
I was going to bring that up.
Defended by Republicans.
But Abby, look, I get your point, Congressman, on the economic numbers. The numbers are what the numbers are. But one area where the president maintains strength is on immigration issues. All of the recent data that recently came out, 90+% of Republicans, the vast majority of independents actually believe the president is doing the right thing in terms of getting people out of the country. I ultimately believe the Supreme Court will rule in favor of the president. The president has broad constitutional authority as it pertains to immigration. I don't think he's going to necessarily lose this fight. I wouldn't even waste my time attacking this judge, because the president appears to be on the right mark as it pertains to immigration writ large. He has the support of the American people. We don't know how the court is
going to rule on that, but it's also pretty clear that the broad constitutional authority he has on immigration is still also subject to the law, which includes due process protections. We got a lot to get to, though, because these folks really want to talk about the economy.
Hispanics that voted for Trump, how's that working out for you? Is this what you expected? Are you okay with this? That close the door mentality that you've had? Like Republicans out there, can't you see that they just use your anger and despair against you? You've been lied to about people who may be different than you in some way. They use that. They attack, they say these random stupid keywords, DEI, and removing pictures of people of color from the White House. And they get you right back hooked on and ignoring that the richest man in the world and his boo, Trump, are robbing you blind and doing everything they can to rob you blind and remove services from you and making you think that these services are somehow working against you. Like Social Security, really? Republicans, you're going to let them take your Social Security away? This a conspiracy that you've been looking for? It's always been staring at you right in your face, right in front of your face. You can start to rewire the way you may think and feel about people that may be different than you. You can redirect the anger. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. I read just about all of them. Please subscribe. It really helps the channel. And I'll catch you in the next one.